Hello, my name's Martin, welcome back to another video. Where are we this week?
Limekiln Lane.
Limekiln Lane, just off Pin Milll brow in Ancoates, right next to the River Medlock. Come here a little bit. So, why am I here? This is where the Medlock Water Walk began here at Pin Milll brow. I'd sort of come in from Phillips Park, got to here, and I think by now I bought some waders. Well, there's a gentleman that's going to show us around today, because here along Limekiln Lane they've formed a group that is supporting this area called Friends of the Medlock Valley, and they've done some wonderful work down here. So we're going to take a look, because it's a bit of a spin-off of the Medlock, and things have happened since I was down here in 2019, I think. So we're going to show you what they've been up to, community involvement, community programme. Dave's going to show us around, and I think the first thing we've got to do is they're replacing some of the signs, the street signs, going back to the classic old ones. So we've got to go and put a sign up just at the start of Limekiln Lane. So as always, where are we this week? Well, we're right in the city centre of Manchester, and we're just off this road here, Pin Milll brow, which forms part of the Manchester Inner Ring Road. If you follow it up the screen going northwards, it goes towards Ancoates. But anyway, there we are, this little sort of green oasis in the Medlock Valley, just next to city centre. And it used to be very different, and you know I'm going to show you how it used to be with old photos and maps, but very, very different it used to be. And it's almost, the change is almost surreal. And then you've got Dave with his imagination doing these sculptures in the area, and the local people involved as well. So join us on this, what I think is quite a different video this week, but very, very interesting. Right, so this is Dave from Friends of the Medlock Valley, and you've been busy around here doing work in this area that was quite a wasteland.
Yeah, it was lots of fly tipping. It was created in 1982, piles of rubble when I was a child. We used to play on the old buildings. You will know about some of them from Martin's previous videos. And then as I grew up, the forest matured. It's only 40 years old, apart from some of the big poplar trees we have. So yeah, as I matured and the forest matured, it's like the universe combined us together, and I felt a need to try and help it, save it from what it was becoming. And so yeah, we got together with a few people during lockdown, like a lot of these things came about, and it continues from there. And hopefully Martin's going to show you around with me today, and we can see what's going on.
So one of the things that Dave and this team, the Friends of Medlock Valley, are doing is replacing some of the old signs that used to be around here. These two are putting the sign back on. Put that sign back on, boys.
Down it goes. There you go. Down.
To your left, to me, to you.
Down a bit more. Tap it down.
What we'll do, we'll come back when they've done it.
There you go. You need to level it.
That's nice.
Is it
Is
level?
that where you want it, Dave?
Beautiful.
Let me get it level on the spirit level.
So as we walk down Limekiln Lane, it's quite a surreal experience, because you'd be forgiven for thinking, you know, you was a little bit in the countryside. You've got the River Medlock to your left there, and then you've got this little lane, and there's underneath the soil, the topsoil there, are cobbles. Dave takes us up here into the woods. It's not a massive area, but he takes us up into the woods here, and where we go in the gap there, right? It used to be a street, a terraced street, and you can tell that I can't wait to show you the old maps and photos.
This is what I'm making at the moment. It's in construction school. You can kind of see where the debris comes from now and how I make them. If you'd like to take a look at it, but it's not. It's a surprise. Let's say if you come after you've watched the video, maybe in September, October, you might see what this one has become.
So this is in embryonic stages. We can see the way you do it.
Kind of, yeah, foundation. You have to bury things, kids.
Now, that was only embryonic stages, so don't be fooled, because Dave's got some talent here, I'm telling you. This is another one that you just will come across on your little walk in these woods. Dave's got a story to this one as well. Dave, even I know this one is Ganesh, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
But it's your version, so it's
Mank Ganesha. He's a Mank, because he lives in Manchester now.
And
it's the bucket hat.
Bucket hat. Yeah.
And also, obviously, I'm a great fan of Manchester music, like Martin, and elephant stone roses. It's a stone roses hat in it, really. You know.
Yeah.
And, so he's the elephant stone Ganesha.
So And that's again, that looks like cement, am I right?
It's pure cement, mate. So I build up, you can see the cobbles here again from the old places. We make ponds, now some bricks, just rubble that's been abandoned, and some of it is, when you dig round here, you only go 6 inches and you're into all the old rubble of the estates. Bit of graffiti, but people love him in general. They get messages left and best wishes, and people put their wishes under his arm. They disappear, bit of money arrives, and hopefully the homeless are making a brew out of it or something, and it comes and goes. But yeah, he's a favourite of, and I think even people who don't understand Hinduism understand that he is a man for wishes and the universe maybe looking after you.
Okay, so let's get into a bit of the history of the area. Let's look at some old photographs. This is Pin Mill Brow. As we take the camera around, we're on Google Maps here, by the way. I'm cheating. Up there is Ancoates, and as we come back round this way, you'll see the parapet for the River Medlock. River Medlock's down below us there. Where the hand is pointing now, that's Limekiln Lane. And you can see, if we go forward a bit here, further down the dual carriageway, there you go, that's looking down Limekiln Lane, running down at the side of the River Medlock. Now I want you to clock this view, right, because in a minute I'm going to show you a photograph. You know I'm going to do that, don't you? I'm going to show you a photograph of how this little valley here used to look. Let's go back to the original view, won't be a minute. Okay, so here we are, back down the road a couple of yards. Look at that view, look at it. I'm now going to transition to a photograph from 1970, not that long ago. I was about 3. So what you're looking at in that picture, well, you're looking at the railway bridge, which I've marked with a red X. That railway bridge is now long since gone, and just behind the railway bridge you can see a chimney, which is just marked on the map there. And you can see where the railway used to come across Pin Mill Brow here on our Google Maps image. See the big wall in the distance on the left hand side? That's where the railway came across and ploughed through this area. Back to the map, and you can see here where I've put the little red arrow. It's pointing at an inn just next to the Medlock. So what was that inn called? Well, it was called Bridge Inn, and here's a picture of it here. The picture's from 1959. Bridge Inn, you can see it there. I bet many a pint was drunk in there, and people probably used to stay there for city centre. Going back to Limekiln Lane, this is standing on Limekiln Lane and looking out towards Pin Mill Brow. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? And if you look to your left there, you've got Haydock Street. Now, we're basically, when we came off that Limekiln Lane and went into the woods, we went probably up Haydock Street. But we're going to come back to Haydock Street, so let's crack on.
This is now Wright Street.
What is it?
Wright Street.
So this is a terraced street?
Well, we'll show you more now. You can see the cobbles and you can see the curves this side.
So is that a curve there I can see?
Curve there. That limestone. Yeah. That's wood. That must have been, I think there's a few, you didn't find the few, but it must have been replaced.
Oh yeah. And then we've got cobbles. So we'll have a look at that on the map. Wright Street we're on. You won't think so, you think we're in a forest, but we're on Wright Street. But of course it was all industrial, and it was all urban round here. Dave, this is incredible.
Thank you.
This is unbelievable. This just is getting better and better. So you've made all this yourself?
Well, yeah, myself, but this is one of the early projects. So the tree fell over, a massive white poplar tree. Made a great space in the woods, and I was like, oh, one of the big trees has gone, and it created this huge hole. Loads of bricks come up out of it, as you can imagine. I was like, right, lots of clay. So I'd never sculpted before in my life. This is about 3 years ago. I'm a builder, so I know a bit about cement and building. Yeah, so I started messing with the clay, and I made these stupid cartoony faces, and I made some eyes out of plaster, and people loved it. Within 2 months it disappeared in the water, and so I went, right, we need to. And this was the start of me trying to come up with something to save the woodland ultimately, and it was the sculpture trail. So I made these faces, and then I made a few funny ones, and they broke off. They was cement on clay, this one as well, and they snapped off, that remained, so I managed to salvage them. Then I thought, right, I'm making a Bob Marley, because I wanted to start maybe seeing if I could do it, rather than me just making stupid cartoon faces. Can I sculpt? Can I create something that I'm trying to visualise? So I did, and then a lot of these ones now you're seeing are the locals come. I get them to come, I make the skull pretty much like this one. And that's the thing, make people custodians of what you do, and they respect it, their brothers, their children, they make it, so why would you break it? We do get a little bit of vandalism. Got a great response, and people generally love what we do, yeah.
Well, the elephant in the room here, I mean, the sculpture's brilliant. The bridge. Have you made the bridge?
I made the bridge out of old bits of wood. So yeah, again, it's that thing in it of mystery, and I called it the Troll Bridge originally. We've got new signs. It's now being renamed Fairy Glade, because someone told me in today's world, troll is a bit of a strange word.
Internet troll, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So it's now Fairy Glade and not the Troll Bridge. But I still think there's a troll lives under here.
Definitely.
So watch out, watch out.
Yeah. Well, James was speaking to him. James, walk across if it takes your weight.
Well, if it's took yours, I think that'll be
I'm a
absolutely
troll
fine.
foldy roll. I'm a troll foldy roll. Yeah, well, it's took it. That's an impressive bridge. It's even taking Roy's weight, so there you go.
And there is a lost civilization under these floors. It's Beswick, people's lives, yeah. People's houses, people's jobs. It all went on here at one point, and now.
Now, when Dave says there's a lost civilization here, he's not wrong, you know, because there is a lost civilization here. If you take a look at this map, this is a plan of the little sculpture park and where it is, and you can see here all the sculptures are marked out. But it's that area between Limekiln Lane and Ashton Old Road. If we take a look at our map here it is, and there's the lost civilization. And even I asked the question, how did we get from all those streets there to what we see now? Well, of course, 1960s, 1970s, there was a lot of demolition and slum clearance taking place. So one of the things I want to do in this video is try and bring this map to life for you, to give it life basically, and give this area life and show what it used to be. So you see Lion Street there. Well, if you just go down Lion Street, you'll see the infant school, and then you'll see the other school. And it was quite often that you go from the two schools were next to each other. You go from infants to big school, and it was just round the corner. Anyway, I managed to find this picture of Lion Street School. So I'm not sure if it's infants or the big school, but Lion Street School, 1906. Now, as well as catching the attention of the council, Dave's project, the Friends of the Medlock Valleys project, has also got the blessing of Manchester University. If you Google Friends of Medlock Valley, if you want to, you'll see the university piece, and it very much talks about regeneration and urban rewilding. So they're involved as well, and they're watching what's going on. They're very interested. So it's worth reading that. I won't go through the article with you, but if you do want to read it, you can read it.
Mankhenge, yeah, welcome to Mankhenge. So Mankhenge is like a compass and a star map. We don't try not to give too much away. And my interpretation is like, I've got signs on the stones which kind of direct you to where you might be facing.
And the sun going down there.
We have the constellation of Orion. He rises in the eastern sky in the northern hemisphere all the time.
Brilliant.
This one is the North Stone, which has the constellation of the Plough on it. The last two of the pan going that way, no matter what the position, always point to the next brightest star, not the brightest star, the next brightest star, never moves, Polaris. If you look through there in the evening, it's at 50 degrees, which is our latitude on the Earth for the North Star. You'll just about see him through this little gap in the trees.
And they're made from paving stones.
These are the old Victorian curbstones that the roads were walking down.
That were just buried underneath that you found, yeah?
Yes. So
Brilliant.
These are a reuse, I suppose, in a modern yet ancient setting, and yeah, just a reuse instead of it disappearing under the leaves.
Okay, so let's get back to our map our lost civilization map, what was here before. Now, I want you to clock on the map. I want you to clock Haydock Street. Remember I mentioned Haydock Street earlier. I was convinced that when Dave first took us into the woods, that was probably where Haydock Street was. Anyway, look at Haydock Street and look how it backs onto the schoolyards of the two schools I showed you earlier. Now, we're in a valley, so Haydock Street is at a much lower level than those schoolyards, as you will see. Take a look at this picture of Haydock Street from 1964 and you'll notice the schoolyards at the bottom of Haydock Street, 1964. Bricks. Bricks put to use. So all those old houses and buildings we've looked at on the maps and the pictures, those bricks keep cropping up. Unfortunately, they've been put to good use in the park. So this is Alma.
Alma.
Named
right?
after you?
My nana, yeah.
Your nana?
But she was a shopkeeper back in the 60s and 70s.
Was
just
she?
on the knockdown streets on the other side of the railway. So
Brilliant.
Lovely woman, so
Yeah.
yeah, she deserved a statue.
Fitting tribute to her. And it's based on a mud maid, you said it was.
The mud maid,
There's
yeah.
a mud maid, I think it's the Lost Gardens of Elgin. But yeah, we've got one now in Manchester. There you go. And there's more sat in her hair, mint.
There's mint, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like a little plant pot behind the head. It'll obviously mature over here. She's 3 years old now, been here. Alma Lady of the Valley, everyone loves her. It's become a great talking point in this field for dog walkers, and people met each other, and it's this lady, yes, she makes it a friendly field.
Brilliant. I'm walking through a wild meadow and I can hear Pin Mill Brow not far away. It's incredible. So what they've done is they've avoided cutting this area to encourage the flowers to grow, which of course encourages bees and birds, and it's going back to nature, so it's incredible. And all the time you can hear town just over there, but all I can hear apart from that is birdsong, and I'm walking in a meadow. Incredible. I've got to admit, I think I came into these woods looking for things back in the 2019, and it was a bit of a no man's land. It was a complete no man's land. You thought it was dodgy, weren't it? But obviously you've turned that round and made it an accessible place for kids now. So I don't think I can walk down Limekiln Lane in the Medlock Valley. And let's not forget, our friend the River Medlock is here all the time. In one of its peaceful stages here, this was the bit I actually never walked in here. This is the bit that comes down from Holt Town to obviously Pin Mill Brow, and I think during this stage I just showed it on a map. I didn't actually walk in it or come to this place. Maybe I should do. Okay, so you can see obviously this is the extension, because Pin Mill Brow is a big main road. There's the concrete extension, and there's the old road. That would have been the old original road that was Pin Mill Brow. I think I've got some more photos to show you in a bit. Anyway, we carry on. It looks a little bit deeper here, so we've got the light to see the bottom. So let's have a last look at our map and look at this lost world. It doesn't exist anymore. It's at the side of Ashton Hall Road. Look here at Dewsnup Street. I thought it was a misspelling. I thought it was Dewsnap, but it's Dewsnup Street. Take a look at that there. We've got a picture. You knew it, didn't you? Here it is, 1960. What an incredible picture. And you can just see, this must be Ashton Hall Road. You can just see on the corner of the building there, Dewsnup Street. Now, after the shop Philstan, it looks like a cafe because they're doing Vimto. But as you zoom in, you can just see underneath the window, I think it says pet shop. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Anyway, an incredible picture and another image from places that are now lost and gone forever. And you can just imagine, can't you, those two schools, infant school and probably big school or primary school. How many kids do you reckon in the early 60s ran up Lion Street at the end of the school day, or ran up Juicenut Street to run round and see what was going on in the pet shop? Mum, take us to the pet shop. If it was a pet shop, it might not have been, but it does look like it, doesn't it? You can bet that happened, can't you? There you go. So if you do go for a walk down Limekiln Lane, you may see the work of the Friends of Medlock Valley and Dave's sculptures, and the little things that have popped out of his head that he's decided to invigorate this area with. One final thing, he's making a water feature. So let's just take a look at this because it's ingenious.
It will have a pressure, there'll be a bucket buried underground, a bin almost of 3 foot. It will have, and then when the water comes out of the tube, it will be forced by the pressure back through here, which I've dug a big hole in. This will become the spring of Bridget Spring.
Right.
What water in here, and especially the drip that collects, should be fresh. I'm going to get it tested at the university. I don't advise you to come and drink it, guys.
No.
And everything that overflows then will go into the river. It will follow down, overflow this pond. And if Martin'd like to follow me through the scrub a little bit.
So this is going towards the river?
Well, no, this just ends at another pond, but it's something that wasn't here for wildlife, you know, water.
Yeah.
It's already being used a lot, the amazing bird life here, predation from foxes. Another little pond, all gravity fed, of course, into the final pond at the bottom. And again, it's about creating a bit of fun and hopefully something for the animals and the habitat, and rewilding our industrial past. Everything you see in the making has come from under the ground where we stand.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, from that lost civilization.
Yes,
I like that phrase because it's relevant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and again, it's all reused, and hopefully a place people can come and sit and enjoy the nature, bit of solace, mindfulness.
Dave, thank you so much. It's incredible that. And what I'll do is I'll drop a link to your website where people can see what you've been doing, what you're up to. And if you find yourself in the area on a nice day, come down and have a walk round. And it's a work in progress, isn't it?
It's work in progress, open 24 hours a day, public land. If we don't use it, we'll lose it type attitude. Let's all start using it, please.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Martin. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Great day, great day.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.